Hi everyone. So for today's video, I want to talk about jealousy, because that's something that I've experienced feeling, and it wasn't necessarily anything personal, but I just felt like it was something that kept coming up every time I would try to change things in my life, and I'd be faced with other people having those experiences. It would make me get upset because it would kind of trigger me, like making me think that I'm not enough or I'm doing something wrong, and it would just cause me to be hyper focused on all the things that I perceive to be wrong with myself, even though it's literally normal things that people go through, and it wouldn't be something to judge yourself so harshly about. So that's something that I've really been struggling with, especially when you start looking into self empowerment and wanting to improve yourself and be your best self and genuinely have a life that you love and you feel confident about. It can feel kind of intimidating and just frustrating to continue to go through life year after year feeling like you're never changing, feeling like things are staying the same. And it can get really heavy if you don't break yourself out of that judgmental cycle. So one of the things that I just want to say when it comes about that, just in terms of giving advice to anyone who has those feelings, you have to look at why you feel jealous. Is it because people have something you want, or is it because you don't feel you're capable of having that thing? And that's really what it was for me, because looking into manifestation and other ways of creating the life that you desire, I felt like, okay, now I have this concept, this technique, this way of looking at life to help me get the things that I want, and it still doesn't seem to be working. After a while, you have to kind of look and realize that it's not the concept or the idea or the perspective that's the issue. It's validating yourself. It's being confident enough in your abilities. It's seeing yourself in a way that is successful and in not a way that makes you feel like a failure. So you really have to kind of discard the whole concept of jealousy in general once you figure out the reasons why you feel jealous, because other people having things that you want literally shouldn't have any type of meaning about you and what you're capable of. And at least just in terms of people, you don't need to feel possessive over someone having other people in their lives. Once you figure out how to have that balance for yourself and make yourself the most important person in your life, then it'll kind of, I don't know, kind of neutralize itself in a way. Because if you make yourself the priority in your life, which you should be already, you won't need to be looking at what other people are doing. If your life is fulfilling and satisfying on its own, everybody else will just be complementary to that. So it's not even a competition between other people and their friends or their relationships or whatever. So that's something that I've really been trying to deal with. And obviously, if you're isolated, you literally have nothing else to do but think about those things. But it shouldn't be in a way that always gets you down and make you feel like you can never be social or change your life and have the experiences and the fun that you want to. So this is just advice in for anyone who feels that jealousy or frustration with themselves for not being where they want to be. Like, it's okay to feel that, but don't let yourself spiral and then realize that it's not even getting you anywhere to feel that bad. It's literally just keeping you stuck and isolated. So I know I want to make a video about overcoming that, but obviously if I'm still dealing with it, it's it's a little bit hard to talk about. But I think the first start is just realizing why you feel jealous about things, why you feel frustrated, and then work on boosting your confidence and your belief in yourself. So even if it's something like, I can have anything that I want, you're not going to believe it when you first start telling yourself that. Sorry about that. That's traffic passing by. But you're not going to believe it at first, but it can't hurt to give yourself positive affirmations and work on your mindset just so that you can feel good on a daily basis instead of feeling so afraid to even socialize with people and feel like you're not good enough just because people aren't giving you attention in that moment. Like, you have to stop taking things for a negative meaning, because people are literally just living their lives and don't even care about what you got going on. So I feel like you might as well decide for yourself to make yourself the most important thing in your life. All right, so this is just a continuation, but yeah, it can be really frustrating, overwhelming to feel like you're just stagnant in your life and not really getting anywhere. And as someone who's kind of been in that place for quite longer than I've really wanted to, it's just learning to be compassionate. Like the last video I did about love being compassion without judgment, it's not invalidating what you've been going through, not invalidating the feelings you feel, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, I feel that way, but what am I doing about it? Even if you feel like you can't take action towards something, even just deciding, you know what, I don't want to feel jealous anymore, or I don't want to feel disappointed or feel like a failure and continue to judge myself in these ways, because what is it really doing? Most times it's really just kind of breaking your spirit and keeping you stuck in a place where you feel like you're just drowning, and that's not a fun way to live life. Like, I feel like I've lived that way for a long time, and I've had moments of relief and moments of realizations where I understood, okay, I don't have to identify with that, and that's not who I am. Yet it feels like it's all you've ever known. And even that is kind of an illusion, just only in the sense that that is just a part of that state of being, where if you're disempowered, the second you try to have empowerment, that whole belief system is still going to try to pull you back and make it seem like it's hard for you to change and it's hard for you to accept positive things. So that's kind of part of that reinforcement mechanism that'll keep you feeling stuck, like there's no way out, when there really is. It's literally just continuing to choose to see things in a positive way until you've seen enough things happen, and then you kind of believe it after things have happened. You're not really going to believe it in the beginning, depending on how resistant you are to whatever it is you're trying to change your mindset about. But I just felt like putting this out there because I literally felt like breaking down again, just dealing with some other stuff, and it's just like, it's not a fun way to live your life, to continuously feel triggered and afraid like you can't deal with things. And even recently I did end up going out and I felt fine. Like, the anxiety I had about socializing and going out, obviously a couple things happened that made me feel like, oh, this is not going to go well. But then when it really came down to it, I felt like I could just have fun without overthinking it or worrying. So it's just like, a lot of times we're anticipating things to always be bad, and we're only basing that off of the past experiences. There could literally be any possibility or any outcome that could happen from a situation, but because you're so set on believing that your past is the only thing that you can experience, you're already consciously projecting the same type of experiences, the same type of stagnancy, the stuckness. It's just, you're repeating cycles. You're not even allowing yourself to be open to the possibilities of something different happening. And the moment we see something happen, we assume that it's similar to what we've already experienced, when it doesn't even have to turn out in that way. But a lot of it is just us projecting our own negative expectations because we assume that's how things are always going to be, and that's not the case. But until you decide to rewire your mindset and change your expectations and assumptions, you're just going to be living the same type of experiences, and it's just really not living. I feel like I kind of got most of what I wanted to say off my chest, and I wasn't trying to start getting emotional on here, so I think this is probably where I'm gonna close out the video. But just a recap. Basically, if you're feeling jealous about things and you feel like things aren't working for you, figure out what the root of it is. I think at the end of the day, is if you're not believing in your own abilities to have the things that you want and you don't even think it's possible, that's literally the only limitation that you have that's preventing you from experiencing those things, and just like not having to feel jealous or discomfort in the presence of other people having the experiences that you want for yourself. If anything, kind of imitate them, have the confidence and just the positive expectation that things will work out for you, or that they are working out for you, even if you can't see how yet. So maybe drop a comment, like if you've never even experienced jealousy, how do you just have a positive mindset? Like give some tips on how you see things, or think of, talk about maybe something that you weren't quite sure you could achieve, but somehow you did it. And just try to be kind in the comments. If there's something that you struggle with, even express yourself there, because this is a safe space for anybody to talk about what they've been going through. But yeah, just feel free to comment, subscribe. I don't like having to say all that stuff, but I do want my channel to grow. So yeah, just thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.